We know that there are a number of advocacy groups that have formed, and some of those advocacy groups could potentially be enemies if you don't go about trying to validate their concerns to the best of your ability. And it's my job to work with them in a collaborative way to make sure that the interests of all of our kids are being met. And then just like being able to provide data, because I think if you put the data out there, you put the truth out there around where you are, it really does in the long run protect you, because then people feel like you're being transparent, you're being authentic, you're being honest. When it is time to do some of the more difficult things that we have to do as superintendents, I think there's a level of trust that will have already been developed as a result. So we really wanted to focus this session on that. And finally, just focusing on tone, helping everybody to understand that there's a way that we can talk to each other. We have to really understand that healthy discourse is something that's great, and we all have to embrace it even when things don't go the way that we want things to go. With students, you want students to have voice, and in my school district, we are the only school district in the United States that the student board member has full voting rights. But what I try to do is get out into as many schools as possible. I try to do a lot of extracurricular activities where I'm out visible talking to students, doing assemblies with students. We got a number of student advisory groups and councils throughout our school district. I've met with all of them. And then last but not least, allowing for students to come in and have voice as we're getting ready to build out our strategic plan. We'll do focus groups with our students and really work with them to ask them, what is it that you want in the direction the school district will head in over the next 5 years? Yeah, what we want to do is bring joy back to teaching and learning. I think we tend to be very rigid and very outdated, very antiquated, and I think that works against the innovation that you would want to see in schools. And so my big focus as a superintendent is to make sure that we're building out a strategic plan that actually embraces innovation, will allow for us to look at what the school day looks like differently, what the school year may look like, but to make it be more responsive to meeting the demands of the workforce market, but also meeting the demands that are now placed on our students. If we say that we want students to be college and career ready by the end of the 10th grade, what does that 11th and 12th grade year look like? How do we take and allow for them to be able to apply what they've learned in a real world setting, and it not just being for a few kids, because we know that there are certain kids who have to work, that they won't be able to take advantage of it. But if we're able to build it through a flex schedule model where schools may be open from 8:30 in the morning until 8:30 p.m. for instruction, now you have now controlled for a variable of poverty and a variable where kids don't have a choice, but they have to work or take care of siblings, because now you've built it into their high school schedule where they can also have access like everybody else.